with everybody here in Salida's getting to be known. Like the spot has a lot of coffee. Like you can go anywhere in this town and find a good cup of coffee. And you can, yeah, there's so many people that travel here from the Front Range. And Salida's getting a really good rep on like just their food now and their coffee. So it's pretty cool to see. Um, but yeah, I just think that it's very special to have a community like we do, all the coffee shops.
So it doesn't seem like it's oversaturated. Like each shop can have its niche and have
Yeah,
its client.
yeah. I mean, fully believe that we go to a favorite coffee shop for a reason, whether that's your favorite barista or that favorite bean or that favorite way that they make their coffee there, even from the temperature of the drink. So, I think there's all kinds of ways that we love and we get attached to a coffee shop. So I think there's plenty of room. Yeah.
Very cool. Um, what about like where you see coffee serving the larger community? What does that look like to you? Is it really just keeping it small? I mean, is there? Are you ever going to start roasting? Any ideas on like what that looks like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot that could be said there. Maybe someday I'll roast. I've always had an interest with roasting. One of the things I forgot to talk to you about is I rotate roasters at my shop, and that's for a reason. Um, a lot of these coffee shops will have their roaster, their favorite roaster, and they'll have their good coffees. Um, but then that coffee never changes. For me, that's my journey and I want to share that journey with other people. And so I always get a new bag of coffee from different roasters. And that's at home and at my shop. So once a month, I have a new roaster every time. Um, it's just a really fun way to keep coffee fresh and keep coffee different and just try new things all the time. And we can talk about it together, which is pretty cool. Um, but what was the other part of that question?
Uh, that's a
um, uh, just like the growth of
yeah.
coffee. Um, man, I think there's always going to be something new, something different that we can do in coffee. But I think that what I see happening in the coffee industry right now is I feel like there's a big turn. Um, there's with specialty coffee, everything kind of went like mainstream and kind of like really like kind of bougie, like black and white minimalistic shops all around the country. Even around the world, it was kind of neutralizing across the whole world. I kind of see a trend and a movement bringing the coffee shops back to the living room style coffee shops like Bongo Billy's. Like a lot of these older coffee shops, we went to coffee shops because they were comfortable to go to, because we could slow down and we could just chill and be ourselves at these coffee shops. Um, I think that there is a movement between like that's what probably the next growth in coffee right now is becoming a little bit more like, hey, let's slow down here a little bit more instead of just a hustle.
Mm. You talked about you know like being yourself and slowing down. I feel like compact embodies that really well. So I don't know, I kind of want to talk about like how you've decided to like decorate it, right? And what that looks like. There's kites, there's fishing stuff, there's all kinds of things.
Yeah, that was very intentional. I feel like I was just mentioning there, a lot of coffee shops kind of look the same now. Like when you go all over the place, you just start to make these connections. You're like, wait, I think I've been in here. Wait, I haven't even been to this state, but I've been into this coffee shop. And so, um, I just think that a lot of people are just taking people's ideas and just blending them throughout the whole country, the world. And I wanted it to be very just relative to who I am. I wanted to bring an original space, an original like kind of just idea to an area, and that my place really what's the word reflects on who I am. So if you come into my shop and you look up, you'll see a bunch of kites. Kites are something that flew a lot when I was a little kid and grew up in a kite family. And now I sew and make these kites. And so it's a very original thing and it looks cool on the ceiling. So I don't think you're going to find another coffee shop with a kite in their ceiling. So,
Or 10
or 10.
or
Yeah.
10.
Or a big fish for that matter.
Yeah, yeah, big fish. Um, awesome. I think this has been incredibly enlightening, like what you do with coffee and what that looks like. So I'll kind of open it up to the audience for anybody that has questions for Seth. I can deliver you A mic? Yeah.
Seth, I'm curious on the roasters. Do you go out and find them, or do they find you, or is it a combination of both?
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I would say it's probably 90% me finding them. So I specifically, in my travels, I research roasters everywhere I go, and so if there is a roaster that I know about, I'll go to their shop. I'll reach out the day before, and usually it's pretty quick. And they'll give me a tour of their roastery, how their operations are, and they'll even like do a cupping. Have you guys ever done a cupping before? A cupping is awesome. I've hosted a few of them at HQ. So I'll be doing more of them too, because one of the things I like to do is bring that roaster into my space, and so I've been very thankful and very like great opportunities that like Madcap Coffee Roasters from Grand Rapids was here. There's been several other roasters from the Front Range that's been in my shop too. So they teach us how they roast. We learn from the actual roaster as well. So I'll get emails all the time. Hey, can I send you samples? Stuff like that. But no, normally I make a connection with that coffee roaster. So the current coffee I have on right now, which is what's in the drip, is it's from Color Coffee. They're out of Eagle, Colorado. Charlie, he's the head roaster there, and he's just such an amazing guy, and he's roasts really good coffees. So if you ever get a chance, go check out Eagle or an Eagle Color Coffee. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I yep. Did that answer everything?
So I have, I think, a small town question, and it may or may not have anything to do with coffee. But
Go for it.
some of the other people that have spoken at these, they talk about Salida, especially when they grew up here. They'll talk about the Salida as when they were a kid. And so I'd like for you to kind of contrast some of the things that you see now compared to when you were growing up. And then if you can, Josh is our neighbor, so if you can tie him into it, because I know you guys went to school together, talk about some of the trouble you got in back in those days, because it was a very different town where you could do some things that you can't really get away with now.
Yeah.
And so, like, just really let loose, man. Let us know what it was like back in those days, because
Mm.
it when I look back at the pictures, I see a lot of different things
Yeah.
that were back then that aren't happening now.
Man, that's a good question. Well, I can speak what we did here. I was at the skate park every single day, like like after school, go to the skate park after that was my daily routine. Um, shoot. Yep, this bowl right here. Yeah, my parents owned a store downtown for a little while, and so I'd just go drop my backpack off and go run to the skate park. And I mean, it was like probably 10, 15 kids that would go to the skate park. I mean, it was very strong. And we even had a couple pros come out of Salida, which is pretty cool. Fun fact. Bikers and skateboarders, which is pretty fun. I'd actually say that there's a couple pro BMX riders too, which is really, really cool. But then like yeah, then we got the new park, so that's pretty cool. The new skate park is really, really good, but also the skate park, this bowl is pretty famous in the whole skate industry. If you guys didn't know that, the people love coming to Salida just for that skate park, that bowl. It flows really good and it sends you into pockets and stuff like really good. So yeah, I would never like to. I don't want to see that disappear, which I know that's been a Salida thing. So I would like to see it stay. Um, but yeah, there's just been a lot of history, even with like FibArk and stuff like that too. FibArk has changed a lot over the years. And do you ever anybody remember the rubber ducky race? Yeah. FibArk used to have a rubber ducky race, like that's no longer there. But all the kids used to just drop rubber duckies and have a big like it was a flood of yellow just going down the river. Like it was a pretty fun event. Trying to think of like other things. I don't know if they still do this still today, but we'd like go down to concerts on to Colorado Springs on Fridays and drive back at 3 o'clock in the morning, like every Friday. Um, Trying to think of specific Salida things. Yeah, we did have a movie theater. Yeah, yeah, that was pretty cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, I remember a couple streets even having some dirt on them, not pavement. So there was a couple of unpaved streets. Um, but trying to think of like specific Salida changes. I mean, it definitely is growing. I think it's growing for the better. Change is hard to stop, so I think it's best if we can be a part of the change and do something with it. I really want my boys to feel loved and raise them here because I love Salida, but I know it's changed a bit. And having the wave, having the river, everything here is like magical for the kids. Like you see, like I just saw it today. There was like 6 kids from middle school or something just partying on boogie boards. You know, like I didn't have that when I was a kid, but I would have loved it. Like absolutely. The biking scene here, we have way more trails now than we did back in the day too. It's been developed like crazy. Pretty excited for the new bike park too that they're doing. So, um, yeah, just the development of trails. Town. I wouldn't say the Salida downtown hasn't really changed too much. Over the years, you see a lot of stores just kind of turn over, come and go all the time. So I probably would say like the one thing that has changed is I think the consistency that the businesses have been here, how long they've been here, has been longer. They used to just kind of always turn. So that's pretty cool. I love our downtown. Our downtown is very special. Like comparing it to a lot of these other mountain towns, the downtown, like this art community here is insane. Like you try to find an art store somewhere else, it's like impossible. But here we have them everywhere. So I think it's pretty unique in that way, being in the middle of the mountains too, being able to do everything around here. But like I said, I tried to find something better than Salida. I didn't find it. So
The relationship with the river, because
mm.
back in the day, like there was just a separation between the town and river. There just wasn't a lot of safe and sober reasons to be it.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely cleaned up. They've shaped it. They've added a lot to the river to make it more community focused for sure. And I think that's been a big change for Salida. The fact that the sidewalk stopped at the stage, like there was no bike path across the whole, where the old hospital used to be. Um, and so just having that bike path, walking it, like that's been a game changer for downtown. There's been a lot of like that, those kind of changes. They've made it way safer, way nicer to enjoy our time on the river for sure. Easier to like just, um, oh, Josh. Hi, Josh. Man, what's one fun story that I can tell you about Josh?